All right, this is Freelo Fugazi. This is Contenders Edition. Now, just going to be straight up right now. Thunder, Cavs, Celtics are not on this.
Yep.
But these are teams that we can see being dark horse contenders. So that's what this Freelo Fugazi is about. It's not so much, are they going to win a championship? It's, hey, can they be a dark horse? Can they make some noise? Can they reach their conference finals and give a scare? That's what we're looking for. All right?
Yep.
Let's do this. First team, Freelo Fugazi, the Los Angeles Clippers. Kwab, what say you?
I want to say for real, but I don't trust the Clippers. That's just how I feel. Like they'll be playing well. Like they're in a great run right now. They'll be playing well, and all of a sudden they'll be like one Kawhi Leonard like alley oop away from like the season is over. Like
It's so wild. It's so sad too because I love Kawhi, man.
Yeah, so I like James Harden, amazing. Zubac playing great. Norman Powell, dope. They even signed Ben Simmons, womp. But it's just like I don't.
Bogey's been a good addition.
Bogey, dope. You know what I mean? So it's just like that's to me. So to me, it's Fugazi.
I'm going to say for real, they have one of the best defenses in the league, and when you have that, you're in every single game. You have two of the best shot creators of our generation in Kawhi and James Harden, so when the game slows down, you can always go to them and run some type of offense. I think Norman Powell and Bogey are two of the best off-the-ball players as well that we have in the league. I think they're very well-rounded. I think they're very well coached. I think they're good on defense. I think they could sneak up on teams and beat a couple teams, and I've been saying this all year, too. This isn't a new take.
Yep.
This isn't a new take.
You have been saying all year.
I've liked the Clippers all year. I love the Bogey edition. I don't know if I would go as far and say they're going to win the West, but can they win the series? Absolutely. Can they make the Western Conference? Would it surprise me if they make the Western Conference Finals? No, it wouldn't actually. We talk about this all the time when we talk about the West. It's about matchups.
Yep.
You get the right matchups, you get in. Who knows? Because there's not too big of a gap between these Western Conference teams at all. And they went. I think they're the 4 seed right now. Who knows where they end up? We'll see. But, I believe in this Clippers team. I think whoever knocks them out, if they get knocked out, it's going to go 6 or 7, and it's going to be tough. All right, Kwab. The Denver Nuggets, for real or Fugazi?
2 days ago, I might have said for real. They just fired your coach. I don't know what's going on, so I'm going to say Fugazi. They still have the best player in the league, arguably the best player in the league. But with Jamal Murray hurt, all these question marks now with the coaching and everything, I'm actually going to watch them tonight to see how they look. This is the first game without Malone to see what's going to look like. But, yeah, I might have to go with Fugazi.
Oh, we're going Fugazi. It's over. The organization just told you they don't believe in this team. And if the organization doesn't believe, why should I? What am I going to do? Like, really? You just quit 3 games before the season starts? The postseason starts? No, you Fugazi. You Fugazi. Like, I don't believe in you. I would have. I would have been like, hey, listen, you never know. If Jamal Murray comes back and gives vintage Jamal Murray performances, you got the best player in the world, and PJ gets hot, you never really know. No.
We actually said that on the power rankings. That was actually like our point.
And that's why they were ranked in front of the Clippers, and now I have Clipper fans pissed off at me in the comments. I hear you, Clipper fans, and I actually agree with you. It's a shame. Let's move on.
It's a shame.
Next team, the New York Knicks. For real or Fugazi. Kwab, stop right there. I got it. Fugazi. Absolutely Fugazi. The most Fugazi. I'm a huge Knicks fan. If you cannot beat a single team, they beat the Rockets one time. They haven't beat the Clippers. They haven't beat the Lakers. They haven't beat the Cavs. They haven't beat the Thunder. They haven't beat the Celtics. They haven't beat the Warriors. Why on earth would I think this team was for real? I don't even think I have to explain myself further than that. This team is. I think you are a 50-win team, and you don't have a single win against those teams I just mentioned. You beat the Rockets one time, and I think the Rockets were missing Fred VanVleet and someone else too. I think Jabari didn't play.
Yeah.
What Fugazi? There is no greater definition of Fugazi. Fugazi.
Oh, okay.
Love you.
Okay, let's go to the next team.
All right, the next team. We got the Indiana Pacers. For real or Fugazi, Kwab?
For real, if their defense shows up. Fugazi if they revert back to their lack of defense, but they can be really for real just because they're one of the few teams I've seen give teams like the Celtics trouble with your pace and your offense. And like you've said many times, when they play defense, they can lock in. So when your defense shows up, they can be for real.
Yeah, I would say for real too. I think they are a dark horse to win the East. Not win the. Well, maybe. Who knows? You never know. Like, they made the
Possibly.
Eastern Conference Finals last year. You have the Celtics and the Cavs. I think the Pacers have the third best chance of winning the Eastern Conference. I don't think they get past the Cavs. I'm going to pick the Cavs to beat them in a series. So Cleveland, please calm down. But it wouldn't surprise me. It actually would not surprise me at all if the Pacers beat the Cavs. And then last year, you talk to the Celtics, and they tell you the team that they had the most trouble with was the Indiana Pacers. Yeah. And they're a better team this year. They are playing better defensively. They're another year around each other. It's pretty much the same team. So the continuity is there. I love the way they play offense. You know, they're a really good basketball team. You know, and you know, you catch a Cavs team that gets a little, the lights are too bright for us, like they were in New York, you know, that one series, and you catch them, and then you give the Celtics a better series. Who knows what could happen? I think they're for real in that sense. I'm not going to pick them to win the East, but I think they're for real to be a dark horse for sure.
No.
All right, moving on to the next team, the Houston Rockets. For real or Fugazi? I'm going to say for real. They're the 2 seed, bro. Like, how can we not? How do you dismiss the 2 seed? Even though I just dismissed the Knicks, who are a 3 seed. How do you dismiss the 2 seed, who has actually beaten the better teams in the league? They have a victory against the Thunder. They've beat the Celtics. You know, like they have beat good teams throughout the year. They have one of the best defenses in the whole association. You know, a lot of people do knock on the fact that they can't shoot the ball well, but they do have players who can score. You know, it's not like they're offensively inept. Jalen Green can get downhill. He can create for others. Şengün is a baby Jokic. He's somebody who can create for others and can create for himself. Dylan Brooks can spot up and hit the 3. Jabari Smith off the bench can hit the 3. Fred VanVleet has shown you he can hit the 3 throughout his career. So they're not offensively challenged. They do have trouble in the half court, which I think is ultimately going to be their undoing. But to sit here and say that a 50-plus win team that is second in the Western Conference and has beaten these teams before can't make noise in the playoffs just because we haven't seen them there, that's foolish. It's foolish. This team is for real. They can go as I think they can small chance they can win the conference. I don't think it's a 0% possibility they can win the conference. I wouldn't pick them, but I think they can.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they're for real. I think they go with the same attitude that Ime has in terms of like playing really, really hard defense. They're not scared of anybody, and that's been evident in these big games they've won. Like when they're fully healthy, they feel like they can match up with anybody, play their style of play in terms of physical, aggressive defense. Was it a fast break, like running the court, and then playing through Şengün in the half court. Jalen Green has been playing very consistent. We always rave about Amen Thompson and his growth throughout this year. Even Dylan Brooks has had a solid year. So like they're for real. Again, like we're gonna keep with the one thing we keep saying with the West is the matchups are gonna matter in terms of who they face. Those are always gonna matter, but they've been good all year. They've had like little valleys here and there, but they've still been able to maintain a winning culture throughout the course of the season. So they're for real.
All right, let's move on to a team that I didn't want to put on here, but Kwab insisted. The Detroit Pistons. I'm just going to get out the way. Fugazi, nice team, fun team, young team of the future. Cade's a beast, but come on. Kwab, go.
That's crazy. Look, I feel like the Pistons have a chance of not only winning in the first round matchup, especially if they face the Knicks, a team that Josh has no faith or belief in. Actually, you guys can hit rewind. Like, you can actually hit rewind on this. You can hit pause. You can pause this. If you fast forward, pause this, hit rewind, and go backwards and listen to him talk about the Knicks, right? And then ask yourself, do you think the Pistons can beat a team like the Knicks if they're matched up with them in the first round? Your answer would be yes. Because guess what? The Knicks are 1-2 against the Pistons too. That's part of your losing records that they have against all these teams. it includes the Pistons too. So yes, I like the Pistons because the Pistons are one of the best stories in the league, if not the best. You can make the case. Your coach should be in the running for Coach of the Year too, but it's gonna be Kenny Atkinson. That's been clear as day. But last year they were on the worst losing streak ever, like ever, and now they've been able to clinch themselves in the playoffs. Cade is All Star year. Malik Beasley is shooting the crap out the ball. The way they run their offense is going to be a problem for a team like the Knicks. I've said this. I told Josh this. This was yesterday off air. I was like, if the Knicks play the Pistons, I might have to pick the Pistons, and he called me crazy. Earlier on in the year, when we did the play-in preview, and it was the Knicks Hawks, I was on the fence because I'm like, I might want to pick the Hawks, but I want to give the Knicks the benefit of the doubt
Hold on.
because they have
For the record, we did say it would be a close game and the Hawks would cover whatever the spread was. So let's not act like
for the record. I said that we actually both said that we can see the Hawks beating the Knicks.
yes, we did.
But we think the Knicks are the better team.
Yes.
That was the whole point. I can see the Pistons beating a team like the Knicks and other teams, even though these teams have a better record, are the better team, just because of the talent they have and the way they play. And that's just the point I wanted to get off. Just because I'm like, we have to start showing love to teams like.
We can show love to them. I'd love to show love to the Pistons. I'm happy they're in the playoffs. But I don't have to be delusional and think they can beat the Boston Celtics and then the Cavs. Like, come on, bro.
Anything is possible.
All right,
Anything
if you
is
say
possible.
so. Listen, if they do, like this is going to make you a lot of money. You're going to be on SportsCenter and you're going to
Maybe
take off from
we'll
here.
see.
You're
Yeah,
gonna be
we'll
like-
see.
it's going to be the dime with Josh Rodriguez once again.
We're gonna
You're going to have your own show.
Definitely not. Definitely, this show does not happen with. This doesn't happen without you ever. So ever. Let's get that in recorded and writing ever. So
I hold Kwab hostage, ladies.
yeah. So that's just why I wanted to talk about. That's why I want to say the Pistons, just because I feel like, they, like you said, they're a fun young team. Fun young teams are some of the most dangerous to face in the playoffs because they're just playing with no expectations. They're playing like, hey, if we lose, cool, we got here. If we win, awesome. While the other team is like, we have to win because this is not what we put our team together for. So that usually ends up favoring the fun young team. There's a lot of stuff I can say that can make
Okay, we got it.
sway to the Pistons. So yeah,
My only
that's
request is,
yes.
please, for the love of God, lose those alternate jerseys that you wear, the black, red, what? Oh my, God, disgusting.
black bread.
Oh, the white and God.
Do you like the teal jerseys?
I don't act that. That's
you
one
don't
of my
like
jersey hot takes. I don't like the teal Pistons. I don't know. I
Grand
like
Hill
their-
jerseys.
I like their 80s, 90s classic Detroit Pistons look. Like that's my favorite Pistons look.
I don't
like the Grand Hill jerseys.
You don't like the Grand. I
don't.
I like I'm not like big on jerseys. I'm more like big on like shorts. When I see like a type of jersey, I'm like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
those shorts. I like the teal shorts.
Okay.
I'll say I like the
we
teal
talked.
shorts.
We talked a lot about the Pistons.
Yes, we did.
move on.
Go Detroit. What? Detroit. What?
The next team is the Los Angeles Lakers. For real, Fugazi, Kwab, I'll go first. I think they're for real. I think this is one of the easier ones. You have LeBron, you have Luka, you have a chance. I think it's just that simple. We could break down, the fact they don't really have anyone outside of Jackson Hayes with height, and they're going to have to go small. They're going to rely on three-point shooting, and you the three the best pick and roll players and players on the basketball, because Austin Reeves as well has turned into a star, not a superstar, but a star, like all-star potential. So I think when you have that at any time, you're in any game, in any series, and I really do think it's that simple, for real.
Yeah, I agree. For real, you have two of the most dynamic players in the league, in LeBron and Luka, and then you throw in AR, who's having a hell of a year because the type of defense he's seeing. He's not seeing the top perimeter defender, because that has to go to Luka or that has to go to LeBron, and he's putting in work. Like he's been going crazy. I think somebody said he's at like, since the start of the year or a certain point, he's at a 50, 40, 90 in terms of his percentages, which is ridiculous. So yeah, they're for real. We all agree, like they've looked great. Their defense has looked amazing. Shout out JJ Redick. Also as a coach, a lot of people had doubts of what he was going to be able to do, and he's been coaching the hell out of this team. And then he gets gifted Luka. So this is they're for real.
All right, and finally, the Golden State Warriors for Real Fugazi. Same thing I said about the Lakers. You have Steph Curry, you have Jimmy Butler, you got a shot. What was the record? 21-4 since Jimmy Butler came around, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Don't quote me. I think it might be 22-4 now because they did catch a W the other night. But I just want to see more from Jimmy. I think Jimmy has to be some version of Miami Heat. Jimmy, obviously, you're not going to have that because it's a different system. It's a different role. You don't have to carry the burden on your shoulders. But I would like to see Jimmy be more aggressive scoring the basketball. Defensively, I've been really impressed with them since Jimmy's been over. We covered the Lakers-Warriors game in which the Warriors won in Los Angeles, and I thought they played phenomenal defense. So defense is there. You have Steph Curry. You have a chance.
Yeah, we agree. You have Steph, you have a chance. Jimmy, like Isaiah, it's been like the one player that come playoff time he can turn the switch on and becomes like a different monster. It's kind of ridiculous. It's scary. They need consistent contributions from like other players like Pods, Moody, like Kuminga to get where they want to get. Like I keep saying, but also they need Draymond to stay on the floor and just be Draymond without like the extra antics and the craziness during the course of the playoffs, because they're gonna need him in terms of his playmaking, his defense, and what he brings to the team. So yeah, they're for real.